Hey.
What are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Is this your job now?
Ashley, can we start or do we need to?
You'd mentioned allergies earlier, and I think mine are kicking in now.
Man, in the race at times, my eyes are so dry. I'm like, ah.
You used to use eye drops there for a while.
Yeah.
Hey, if I can have everyone's attention here in the press conference room, we'd like to welcome our winning team here for today's Hollywood Casino 400. We have race winner Jimmie Johnson, owner Rick Hendrick, and crew chief Chad Knaus. Jimmie, we'll open it up with you. This is your 55th victory, which ties you with Rusty Wallace for 8th on the all-time series win list. Your 20th career victory in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup, and you have won at least one race in all 8 chases and the only driver to do so. So talk a little bit about the race today.
Yeah, just an awesome performance for the Lowe's team, top to bottom. Very proud to have won 55 races and tie Rusty Wallace. That is a huge, huge honor. Very proud, too, to win Rick his 199th win for Hendrick Motorsports. And then also we helped Chevrolet clinch the Manufacturers Championship today. So huge day, and also just very fortunate to drive for Rick and Chad and drive this race car. That race car was on the money today. Our pit stops on pit road were phenomenal. And we ran really well at Chicago and didn't get the finish we kind of deserved there because of fuel mileage. And we came here and backed it up with another strong performance on a mile and a half. So very excited going forward into the remaining mile and a half tracks, starting with Charlotte next week. And we'll just keep fighting. You know, this thing isn't going to be over until Homestead. We came a long way from the race, but or New Hampshire for that matter. But it's still a lot of racing left.
Hey, Mr. Hendrick, we'd like to talk to you and tell us how you're feeling today. You're at 199, just one shy away from that 200th win. How does that feel being here with Jimmie today?
It's unbelievable to be this close to the 200 mark, but what awesome day for Jimmie and Chad and the Lowe's team, and I thought we were going to get it at Dover, and so I'm definitely not going to miss any races. The next one coming up here, I missed 150 when we did that. I was in the hospital with my dad, and but I'm just really proud of these guys. A lot of people had said the magic was gone, and you look at Dover, and then you look at this race today, and you know, they just put their heads down when it counts and get the job done. So I'm really proud of them, and Jimmie said it. I don't think we'll know who's going to win this thing until the last lap at Homestead. With this point system, anything can happen.
All right, Chad, we'll get to you. Just talk a little bit about your strategy today, how far you guys have come in this chase, and how good it feels to be sitting here today.
Yeah, I'm really proud and happy with the performance that we had today. Definitely the car wasn't where it needed to be on Friday. We wanted to qualify a lot better than what we did, and unfortunately we just couldn't get it. And yesterday was a tough day. The wind was blowing, and it was difficult to figure out exactly what the car was doing. But Jimmie was very dedicated last night with us to try to figure out the setup of the car. And Greg Ives, our lead engineer, we poured over a lot of data and a lot of information and came up with some good solutions, obviously. And Ron Malik and the guys did a great job of putting that setup in the race car and making sure that it was going to last the full 400 miles. And it was a great day. Couldn't be prouder of everybody on pit road and everybody back at HMS.
Okay, we'll open it up for questions. Please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. Please state your name and affiliation. We'll start with Lewis, go back to Randy, and come back up front.
Lewis Frank Reuters. Jimmie and Chad, I mean, your eye is always on the big prize, the championship, but how much did the 21-race drought play upon you guys, winless drought?
I can't say that I've known the number or thought about a number. You know, I look at this year, and there's probably 3 or 4 opportunities to win that come to mind that we just didn't take advantage of. And that's on everybody's back. I've messed up. We've had pit road issues. We had a lot of little things go wrong, and we've got a fair amount of second-place finishes that should have been wins. So the competitor in all of us, we've known that we've been close. So we want to win, and we want a lot more wins to start the chase for bonus points, but it's been more about missed opportunity than really a number of races that we haven't won. So, and I'm shocked that 21's the longest. I didn't realize. That doesn't sound like many races to me. What was our longest streak prior? Don't know. Cool. Someone will know.
Jimmie and Chad, Randy Kovitz, Kansas City Star. What is it about Kansas here? In 2008, your win kind of really propelled you to that championship, and last year, even a second place got you the lead that you held for down the stretch. Is this kind of the place that you jump off on?
Well, I think on track it's just slick and tough to get the car perfect, and you have to adapt. There are a lot of really good lines that you can choose from around the racetrack from the top to the bottom, and when I have tools to use on the track, I seem to do a better job in the race car, and trying different lines and braking techniques, pick the throttle up in different areas. There's just a lot that you can do on a track like this, and I think that's a big part of it. What's helped us, especially in race qualifying. I know we've been able to sit on poles here with the old car, but of late that's not really been our strong suit. But the race has been just fine for us.
It's a really fun racetrack. It incorporates a lot of the needs of a real race car. You have to have great horsepower, and fortunately enough, we do with the Hendrick engine program. And then when it really comes down to it, you have to have a good aero base and a good mechanical grip base, because the tire fall off is high. Tires make a difference, so you've got to make sure that the driver and the car is able to go out there and go fast and not abuse the tires. And I think we do a good job of that typically, and I think that's part of the reason why tracks like here, the old Darlington, the old Charlotte, Atlanta, tracks like that we do pretty well.
Okay, we'll take a couple more, then go up to the press box.
Sean Roney, Dos Mundos bilingual newspaper. I was talking to Pullman Montoya's crew chief. He was talking about how long a day it was for their group because of car issues and this and that. By contrast, when you have, as you put it, an awesome day, does your sense of the length of the race seem to shrink, or does it still take a lot out of you emotionally and physically?
Man, all those cautions at the end tacked on about 200 miles in my book. You're in a rhythm. We had a big lead that I could manage, and then it's time to start over. And then the first one, we came to pit road, which I wasn't sure what to really do there. I was afraid to give up track position. Chad made a great call to bring me to pit road to get rights. And then we're coming around, and I'm like, all I wanted to see was the white. That's all I wanted to see, and I came around, I saw the yellow, like coming to the white. So at that point, you got to buckle down and figure out how to get a good restart and put in 2 good laps. And that whole process makes for a long race. But speaking to your point with the 42, when the car is off and you're struggling, the race can't get over soon enough.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Bob.
Bob Pocker, Scene Daily. I have one for Jimmie and one for Chad. For Jimmie, were you aware at all of the struggles, the kind of small struggles Kevin was having and the big struggles Carl was having, and were you surprised to see them up there at the end? And for Chad, Carl's team made an adjustment from final practice to before the race that didn't work. Can you just talk about the balance the crew chiefs face of, even if knowing you have a good car, making adjustments knowing that everybody else will pass you if you don't?
Yeah, I lapped the 99, and then 29 was right there in front of me at one point in the race. So for those two to both bounce back and finish where they did, it did surprise me. I thought we were going to have a huge day on both those guys, and it ended up being just a small day on them.
Okay, we'll go take it to the press box for a few questions.
Reed Spencer with Sporting News. Jimmie, Casey said that you surprised him with how early you went on that last restart. Was that the plan or a spur-of-the-moment thing? And were you thinking about that restart given the difficulty that you had with the last 2 restarts at Dover?
No, I mean, just went, I made sure I picked the lane that wasn't dirty going into turn 1 with all the kitty litter that we had down. That was it. Just hit the gas and go.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. I guess for both Jimmie and Chad. Jimmie, you talked about those missed opportunities. What was the difference today? I mean, obviously you had a great car. Was it the pit stops? Was it making the right calls? Could you guys just kind of touch on why you guys were able to maximize it today versus the missed